they catered them to themselves. They really went out and they used what they had at their disposal to make the film. They brought it in cheap. Most of you guys are students and you're working with low budgets, so you're using whatever you can get your hands on. So we're really fortunate that we have some great resources in this town that I want to bring your attention to, and we've got some guests in here today, as well as some filmmakers who are visiting, who have some insight as to how they use local resources in their areas. I know that some of you guys, most of y'all are shooting here in Savannah, but you're going to probably take off here in a couple of years and go back to go to greener pastures or wherever it is you came from back there or wherever. You know, it might be Austin or Boston, or it might be Los Angeles or New York, but you're going to go someplace and you've got to remember that you can always tap into what's available in those areas. It's my privilege. Right here to my right is Jay Self. He's the film commissioner for Savannah, Georgia. And next to him is Ryan Watterson. Ryan is a location specialist. When you guys apply for student permits to shoot in town, Ryan's the guy that you need to go through. Also is Nick Gant over here. Hey Nick, raise your hand. He's kind of blends in with the furniture because of the beard, but and the flannel.
Beards are in.
They are.
Agreed. Sorry, man.
That's right.
This was all in.
Nick is the president, whatever, Medden Brothers Studios down the street, with Steve Smith here. Steve is the sales director. I never get this right. Anyway, so if you guys if you've been to Medden, you know what's going on out there. If you haven't been, you probably need to get out there. These two guys back here.
They're hiding.
They're hiding. Or with Medden as well. Who else?
Andrew Riggs and Jason.
Sorry, I was getting there.
They actually run our rental department, so many of you probably encountered them already. Welcome to all of it.
Let the coffee kick in, gentlemen. Apologies. So let's start. I know that there's some other filmmakers in here. Who are visiting filmmakers? Oh, hi. Oh, right there, David Roach from Beneath Hill 60. A feature that's in competition this year. It's screening again tomorrow at 2 p.m. And he's got some great stories, I'm sure, about. He's the writer and producer of the film, so he's got great stories about how that film got made. Who else am I overlooking? Oh, good to see you. Awesome. I saw Tom in here a second.
He was behind you.
Alas. So, where do we get started? How do you shoot a film anywhere? Can you shoot a film anywhere? It used to mean, you know, you would have to go to LA or New York to get involved in film production, but now today you can make a film from practically anywhere. So how do you begin to use your local resources? Listen, I'm going to start with Jay. Jay, what does the Savannah Film Commission do?
Well, we do a lot of things. I mean,
Promise.
You know, absolutely. In the, I mean, basically, one of our jobs is to make sure that all those uses of city property and right-of-way and public uses are done in a way that don't negatively impact the citizens and the businesses here. Make sure that nobody gets sued, nobody gets hurt, make sure things are done in a safe and smart way. That's the baseline. Above that, we've worked for 16 years, and I want to point out Tommy Holland back there. You'll see Tommy all week. Tommy's been on the film commission. Tommy's been on the film commission here for as long as I've been here. It's almost 16 years now. You did say something about greener pastures and easy to film. About 16 years ago, Savannah faced the question of, are we going to allow filming at all in Savannah? Because of some bad experiences that we had with some filmmakers. And so I'd say the baseline is, you know, making sure things go well, but there's something much more important, and that is a 16-year work that Tommy and our staff have done to make sure that the people in this town understand the benefits of location filming. They understand the benefits of artistic endeavor and assisting large projects and small projects. And we've gone from a town that was ready to say no more filming at all to a town where students can knock on a stranger's door and get permission from that person to, you know, to film in their house for almost nothing, if nothing, to give them free electricity and everything else. And I would say that when you look at what we really do It's to try and to continue that film-friendly atmosphere so that anybody can come into this town and make a media project, whether they're spending $50 or $50 million locally. We are very busy these days, and sometimes we're actually able to help students, you know, point them in the directions of locations that they may need and may not understand where they would be. Sometimes we don't have that time, so you've got to bear with us with those things. But, you know, we're here to help and to make things work. I've often been asked, why do we help student projects? They don't spend any money. They're already here. Why do we go to any, you know, why do we help you guys? And I've always said that filmmakers often go back to what they know. People like to write about, film about, tell stories about what they know. I've told the stories about what I know so many times people are tired of hearing them. But finally this year we had a group of students that came back and they shot their film here. They were graduates who were living in LA and other places. And you know, it wasn't a big budget, but they came back to Savannah to shoot their film. And I've been telling our leaders this kind of thing will happen. These student films help us. They also will bring back work, a lot of work, years from now, when these students decide, you know what, now I'm in LA, I realize how difficult it is to make a movie in LA, and I remember how easy it was in Savannah, Georgia, and you'll come back. So that's a little bit of what we do and kind of a little bit of a speech. But
So you guys are actually here to help students, not prevent them from making their films.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Student films are important to us. The sheer number of them make it difficult for us to give, you know, a lot of help on each individual one. But if you have questions or there's any way we can help you.
I know sometimes students hear the word permit. It sounds like, oh great, I got to get a permit. It's one more obstacle I have to overcome in, you know, making my film. But a permit's not really an obstacle. It's quite the opposite.
Permit comes from the word permit is permission. It means you can do this. It means you have the ability to do certain things on our right-of-ways. And we have had problems. We've never had an accident on a permitted project in the city limits of Savannah because we're very careful about the rules and permitting. But our permitting rules are also very elastic. And have any of you filmed here in Savannah? Anybody had a problem with the permitting process? Awesome. We want to make it easy. It doesn't cost anything, and we try and be as responsive as possible. Now, we can't turn big permits around the next day, you know, because we then have to liaison with everybody else. In a lot of cities, if you don't have a one-stop shop, because you can come to us and you can get the street closed and get the parking you need, get the police officer you need, get permission to be in the park, do all those things with one phone call. In many cities, that would be 5 meetings with 5 different city departments. And I guarantee you those people's job isn't to make it easy for you. This roads engineer's job is not to close down roads. His job is to keep them open. The parks people's job isn't to close a park for somebody's use, it's to keep them open. Parking people, their job isn't to reserve parking for a student production for free, it's to keep that parking open. So we've worked very hard to make sure that students can be very effective in this town because the school is important and we love this program.
David Patterson, have you encountered this sort of hospitality shooting in New York City?
New York City also is one of the easiest places to get permits.
Struck down the mayor's office?
Yeah, you can actually do it online now. And what's crazy is they give you police. You know, you have cops on your set. So, 'cause it is New York City. And sometimes someone will come up and say, this is my street, I own this street. You know, some crazy person. And the cops will politely escort them away. And depending on the size of the shoot, they may give you 3 cops. You know, and it doesn't cost you a cent. The city actually has.
Is there a minimum for how much you have to be spending in order for that to happen?
Nope, as far as I know. No,
that's
the New York City Police Department has their own film division.
Wow. So I can, like, next time I go to the city, I can bring my camera and get some cops to block up the street for me.
Just walk around town.
Walk around town with my positive cop.
Proper paperwork, I believe so.
I will. Fantastic.